and a rising NFL superstar is about to join us, and also a guy who has a really big heart. Coming up this Saturday, he will be in Long Island, New York, specifically, and I'm going to give you all this information right now. He will specifically be in, I'm finding this information, just give me 1 second here. He is helping with the Smile Train. I will tell you that, as a 501 organization and charity providing corrective surgery for children with cleft lips and palate. And I tell you, it is an important one. It's in Lloyd Harbor, New York, in Long Island, from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern time. And Kenyan Drake is the special guest there. You can find more information about this event, KDX32 on Twitter, KDX32, as we're joined by Kenyan right now. Kenyan, it's Alex Marvez. It is Phil Savage. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Alex and Phil?
Hey, we're doing great, Kenyan. Listen, it's your world, man. You're doing everything right on and off the field. I want to start asking you about the Smile Train first. How did you get involved working with them? What does this cause mean to you?
It was brought to my attention by my marketing rep, Julia Lauria. She kind of introduced the idea to me, and she knows how much I kind of value my own personal smile, and I went through a phase in middle school where actually earlier than that, when I had, gap, and I was real self-conscious about my smile, and then I was able to get braces in college and, kind of correct that. And to kind of, see people who are in a situation to where, they have, these cleft lips, it's real unfortunate and sad to see, but to kind of be aboard, with an organization such as Smile Train that provides free cleft surgery and dental care to kids born with clefts in developing countries around the world, is definitely something that I wanted to be a part of. So I'm glad to be up on that board.
Well, Kenyan, roll tide to you, brother, and congratulations on this work that you're going to be doing coming up here up in Long Island, New York. But when you look at the Dolphins, you guys, I'm assuming, are on the field now with your OTAs. What are your expectations for yourself going into your third season now in Miami?
I'm looking to help this team win games in any way possible. Obviously, I'm stepping into a different role that I've had in quite a long time, but I've been preparing myself for this situation for a while. Obviously, going to Alabama and playing amongst great players that kind of prepared me for this role, and great coaches as Saban and Coach Burns and all the offensive coordinators I had from with Kiffin, and it just prepared me for this moment. And I'm looking forward to get on that field once the time comes, to take advantage of every opportunity I have to help this team win games.
Miami Dolphins running back Kenyan Drake with us again, going to be participating with Smile Train Family Day coming up in Lloyd Harbor, New York at Comsat State Park. More information on this available. The link can be found KDX32 on Kenyan Drake's Twitter account. Great stuff there coming up on Saturday in Lloyd Harbor, New York at Comsat State Park. Kenyan, I'm sure you're aware of this fact, and if you're not, you'll be happy to hear it. No NFL running back rushed for more yards between weeks 13 and 17 last season than you. It really capped what was a breakthrough year for you in 2017. What came together for you as the year went on and you finally got on the field a little bit more, getting more reps after Jay Ajayi was traded to Philadelphia?
I just wanted to kind of step on the field and kind of do what I figured I could do, the whole time. I kind of had to get out of my own way. Being a young man trying to find his, footing in the NFL, it's tough. It's good to have the people that I have had around me to kind of help, build that structure for me. So when I, make my mistakes, I just don't fall flat on my butt. I kind of have people around me that, support me, lift me up, help me, through the tough times on off the field. And, when I get on the field, that's where I'm most comfortable. That's my domain. So, playing football has never been something that's, not necessarily easy, but once you get to the league, it's a whole different preparation that you have to kind of, put forth. And once I mirrored that with, the obviously, how I felt I could perform on the field, everything kind of came together when it was supposed to.
Kenyon, of course, at Alabama, Nick Saban, the head coach, spends most of his time down with the defense. So, as you mentioned, you played for Burton Burns and some of the different offensive coordinators there. Now in Miami, your head coach, Adam Gase, is an offensive-oriented head coach. Describe to us some of the differences in terms of having a head coach that's defensive-oriented versus a head coach that's offensive-oriented.
Well, for first and foremost, I see Gase every day in the meeting rooms because he's obviously heavily involved in the offense. So when we're installing plays, when we're on the field, he's hands on with the offense, and that was obviously opposite of with Coach Saban. It's not like I didn't obviously see him. He's our head coach, so he introduced or talked to us in team meetings and things of that sort. But when it came to splitting up into offense and defense, he was always with the defense. So it's definitely a different type of role where the head man is around you every day, and you kind of get to see his mannerisms from a up close and personal standpoint with him being so heavily involved with the offense.
Kenyon, every offseason program, I've always said, has a different feel to it from year to year, depending upon how a franchise fares the previous season. What is different this year about this Dolphins offseason program, the OTAs, than compared to 2017?
I think this year was more of a reset for everybody. We lost a lot of key players from the year before, and as everybody knows, it's really a one-game season once you're in season. But once the new season kind of unfolds, for the off season, it's rare that you have a team 3-4 years like in college. Like you can almost guarantee a class comes in and you're gonna have that group of kids for at least 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, redshirted. So in the NFL, it's a lot different for where year to year you can have a completely different team, completely different mindset. So this year I felt like after the season we had, it was definitely disappointing. And there was also a lot of factors that went into that. But I think we really put upon ourselves as players, as an organization, to kind of come together and make this year definitely count because it's always now. Every 32 teams have, aspirations of being Super Bowl champions at the beginning of the year. Now there's only one, make those aspirations come true. And we're just, trying to put our name out there in the hat and, see how everything kind of unfolds because, we feel like we definitely have the talent to make sure, we can have good wins this year.
Kenyon, the Dolphins, of course, brought Frank Gore home, so to speak, from the Indianapolis Colts. I wanted to ask how much time you've been able to spend with him so far, and if you've had an occasion to be with him to this point, what have you picked up from really a Hall of Fame level running back?
He's definitely a professional. First and foremost, comes in to work day in and day out and puts the work in that you expect from a player of his caliber. If I could have half the career, I always tell him, if I could have half the career that he's had to this point, I'll put that up as successful. But just kind of taking how he takes, games every day, being 34, 35 years old, 14 years in the league, is just tremendous. And it all embodies his work ethic and how he approaches every day. From how he works out to how he exercises to what he puts in his body. I'm just trying to emulate that so I can, have the career that he's had.
Kenyon, Ryan Tannehill was already in the NFL when you were first drafted by the Dolphins, obviously, but you've had a chance to be around him, and now, fortunately, he's back on the field being Ryan Tannehill. But from what the media accounts are down there, I don't know if there's a little more pep in his step. He has said, though, he is more appreciative of the fact that he's out there practicing coming off that knee surgery. I ask you, is there anything different about Ryan Tannehill? What is he bringing to the team this offseason?
I feel like I wouldn't necessarily say there's anything different. Obviously, he's itching to get back on the field, to lead us and help us win more games. But Ryan has always been very diligent in his work ethic. And last year, it was definitely a testament to him not playing, but he was in every meeting, offensive team meeting. He was on the field getting mental reps. Obviously, he couldn't move out there, but, he was with coach getting all the checks, just asking, all right, what would I do in this situation? Just, always there. So it was never a point to where you felt like, he had checked out or, he wasn't, going to come back and, still be the type of player that you expect to lead this team, But like I said, I don't think there's really things changed. It's just now he has kind of more of a chip on his shoulder to kind of come out there and, prove that he can play at a high level and help his team win games too.
Hey, Kenyon, last question for me. You talked about Frank Gore and the veteran leadership that he's bringing with the example that he puts out there every day. How about a quick scouting report on the rookie that's in the mix as well, Kalen Ballage from Arizona State?
Definitely a freak of nature. He runs fast, moves well. We kind of mess with him from time to time because as big as he is, I feel like he feels like he's a finesse back. So once he hones in, the fact that he's 230 and, just runs with that type of mentality, that type of power each and every time he touches the ball, I feel like he'll play in this league for a long time.
Hop on the Smile Train with Kenyan Drake coming up June 2nd. You want to get this done. It is in Lloyd Harbor, New York at Comsat State Park. For more information, you can go to Kenyan's Twitter account, KDX32, or you can head over to the Smile Train website. This is to help those youngsters who cannot afford to have deformities in their palate or cleft. They have a cleft that needs to get fixed so they can develop properly, be able to speak, be able to have proper dental work. It is an extremely important thing for these young folks, and we're all trying to give them a lift. SmileTrain.org has links to more information about this great event. Kenyon, thank you for doing what you're doing. We really appreciate it, okay?
No, the pleasure's on mine. Thanks for having me on and helping me push this platform out there. It definitely means a lot to a lot of kids that are out there who, need these surgeries. This last year alone, with the event that they held, they were able to go out and give 28 free cleft surgeries to children in need. So hopefully we can, make that number a lot higher this year.
Great stuff, Ken. And again, we'll help you promote anything that you ever try to do to make the world a better place. Thanks again. We appreciate you, okay?
Yes, sir.